we get asked all the time, where should I eat in Walt Disney World? Well, we've got a lot of answers to that question, but here are 4 meals you should definitely eat when you are in Disney World. Let's get started. Hey everybody, it's AJ for Disney Food Blog, and like I said, get asked all the time where people should eat in Disney World, what restaurant should I eat at? The bottom line is I don't know anything about you or your family, unfortunately, so I can't give you very, very specific suggestions unless I know more about you guys. But there are 4 meals that everyone should eat when they're in Disney World, so you can definitely take me at my word that these are places you should go when you are there. First up, you should eat a signature meal if you can. If you have the money, the dining credits, and the kids who can sit through it, you should definitely have a signature meal. A lot of people think that Disney World is just about burgers and fries and hot dogs and pizza, but believe it or not, there are lots of upscale restaurants at Disney World which are perfect for date night celebrations, or if you just love fine dining. And these restaurants have a more upscale feel along with an upscale price tag. So if you're on the Disney dining plan, these are going to be 2 credits per person most likely. Now, menus tend to reflect seasonal changes and they'll switch up fairly often. A lot of these restaurants actually switch up their menu every single day, depending on what they're getting at market. And dishes also tend to be a little more exotic or adventurous than your standard table service meal at Disney World. So here's a few of our favorites in this category. Definitely check out the menus for these guys, look at our reviews on Disney Food Blog, and see which one is going to best suit your family. Because even though they are 2 credits and they are signature meals, there are some that are going to be more kid-friendly than the other ones. So first up is Le Cellier. This is one of my favorites. This is definitely kid-friendly. It is right in the middle of Epcot, so right in the middle of a theme park. You don't have to worry about dressing up or dressing fancy. It's a steakhouse over in the Canada Pavilion. So this is where you're going to get steaks, burgers, things of that kind. Now the poutine here is awesome. Poutine, of course, is a Canadian specialty. It's usually fries with gravy and cheese curds, and there are lots of different varieties in Disney World right now. So we love the signature version of poutine at Le Cellier, but really you can't go wrong with any of their poutine options or with that cheddar cheese soup, which is a classic Disney menu item that everybody loves. So this is a smaller restaurant and tends to book up quickly, so make your advanced dining reservations as soon as you can for this one. And this is a great one for those who love a good steak and are looking for a higher end meal without having to dress up. Again, like I said, super kid friendly. Next signature restaurant that we talk about all the time is California Grill. Now, it's really, really good food. It's up there at the very top of the Contemporary Resort. Good food and a great view. Now, you can plan your meal to watch the sunset over Seven Seas Lagoon or to watch the fireworks going off in the Magic Kingdom. So there's lots of good times to eat at California Grill. And if you finish your meal ahead of time, say you dined much earlier in the evening for that sunset, bring back your receipt to view the fireworks from their special exclusive viewing platform. Even if you're not there during the fireworks, you can come back and watch the fireworks from there. So if you aren't able to get an advanced dining reservation, you can always sit in the lounge instead and order from the full menu. Now, this is first come, first serve, but it still works that even if you eat there earlier in the evening, you can bring your receipt back and watch the fireworks, even if you're in the lounge and not at a advanced dining reservation required table. All right, now Victoria and Albert's, this is the place you want to go for a special date night or a very special celebration. This one does not allow kids actually, so be careful with that. You have to be 10 years old to eat here, and it is a bucket list experience for a lot of Disney fans. This is over in the Grand Floridian Resort, and it's one of 3 AAA 5-diamond restaurants in Florida, so this is the best of the best. Now, we can always recommend the chef's table here. That's an actual table in the kitchen. It's a lively, less formal experience, but still great food and a lot of fun. Now, this one's really, really expensive. The chef's table is going to cost you $235 with an optional wine pairing of $150 extra. But even if you don't eat at the chef's table, if you eat out in the dining room, it's still going to cost you a pretty penny, well over $200. So guests must be 10 or older, like I said, and there's usually 8 to 12 courses of really inspired cuisine here. So you're not going to find anything else like this around the rest of Walt Disney World, and this is going to be your high-end, very important meal situation. Another one we love for Those 2 dining credits is Morimoto Asia, but here's a little tip for you. If you want signature level dining without paying 2 credits, you can go to Morimoto Asia for lunch. Believe it or not, it's really strange. It's a very similar menu for lunch and dinner, but dinner is going to cost you 2 table service credits, whereas lunch is going to only cost you 1. So Morimoto Asia for lunch is a special hidden gem. Now, this is over in Disney Springs, and of course the chef is Masaharu Morimoto. At least he's got his name on the restaurant. That's not necessarily the chef that's going to be cooking your meal. But this one is great for everyone, especially if you do like Pan-Asian cuisine. That's what they serve here. I love the Japanese A5 Wagyu beef here. It's imported. It's unbelievable. Really, really good. And there's definitely an upscale vibe here, but kids are welcome. And finally, another one that I want to talk about is Takumi Te. So this is a brand new restaurant in the Japan Pavilion of Epcot. It is extremely high-end, so this is going to be closer to the Victoria and Albert's concept. Kids are allowed, but it is a long and involved meal, so make sure you have really patient little ones if you're going to bring them along. But this is a very special Japanese dining experience. If you like Japanese food, if you love to go to Japan, or if you've been to Japan, this is going to be a fun experience for you. So I definitely wanted to mention that because, again, it's completely out of the ordinary, something you'd never expect to be in the middle of a theme park. So definitely consider Takumi Te if you do like Japanese food or want that Japanese experience. All right, the next meal that everybody has to have in Disney World is the character meal. So character meals are the Disney bucket list item for a lot of people. It's a great way to meet a bunch of characters without having to stand in line and wait to get those autographs, and your kids are going to love it. But there are so many to choose from, so we wanted to share a few of our favorites for you, because not all character meals are created the same. There are some that have much better perks and are a much better use of your dining credit or money than others. So first up, Garden Grill. I'm gonna just talk about this one all the time because I think it's so great and still nobody's going. This one allows you to meet Mickey, Pluto, Chip, and Dale. It's over there in Epcot's Future World in the Land Pavilion. It's a family-style breakfast, lunch, and dinner, which means you get to sit down and stay down. Your food comes to you and the characters come to you, so you're not getting up and herding your family to a buffet, which is awesome. Plus, the food here is excellent, really, really good. So this one's going to be perfect for families with little kids that you don't want to try to get up and manage at a buffet. And it's also a really good one because the characters come around multiple times. I've eaten here several times in the past year, and every single time I've seen those characters at least 2 or 3 times, which is awesome because it gives characters the time to really enjoy your family. They play with you, and it's completely different than just the quick autograph, hug, picture, and move on. So that's why I recommend Garden Grill. Great experience, good character experience, great food. You don't have to get up and go to a buffet. Altogether, everything's there, and the price is right as well. Plus, I didn't mention this, but the restaurant, Garden Grill, is actually a rotating restaurant, so it actually spins while you're sitting there. It doesn't spin fast, it goes very, very slowly, but you do go through all of the scenes of Living with the Land, which is the ride downstairs. So it's really fun, and it keeps the kids' attention because you see different things throughout your experience. All right, let's also talk about Tusker House. This is our favorite character meal over there in Africa in Animal Kingdom. Now, it has really good, unique food for a character meal. So this is where you're going to want to go, mom and dad, if you want to stretch those palates, if you want your kids to try some new food items that they've never had before. This is a great option. Because the cuisine is standard American, but they also do have some touches of African, Indian, and other ethnic cuisine, so definitely check this one out. If you have kids who are adventurous eaters, if you're an adventurous eater, or if you want your kids to kind of stretch their likes a little bit further. Here you can meet Donald, Daisy, Mickey, and Goofy in their super cute safari outfits. Again, you don't get to see those characters in their safari outfits very often. Now, this is a buffet, so it may not be as ideal for single parents or parents of little kids who would have to herd everybody up there all at once. But if you time your meal right, you can actually eat off the breakfast and lunch buffets, which is kind of fun. And that's true of most buffets, by the way. Any character buffet, if you kind of eat at 10:30, 11 o'clock, you're going to be able to try a little bit from the breakfast buffet and a little bit from the lunch buffet, so that's fun. All right, Storybook Dining at Artist Point with Snow White. This is another one of our favorite character meals. This is a prefix meal at the Wilderness Lodge, and that basically just means that a lot of the menu is set. You are going to be able to choose your entree, but your appetizers and your desserts are going to be brought out automatically. And those are going to be shareable among the family. So first thing to establish, this is not a buffet. This is a sit-down table service meal. So your food is going to come to you at your table. You don't have to get up to go to a buffet. And guests can meet Snow White, Grumpy, Dopey, and get a photo with the Evil Queen. So these are all characters that it's very hard to find in the parks. Snow White is usually over in Germany, but the rest of them can be very hard to find in the parks if you can find them at all. So these are great autographs to get if you've got autograph hunting kids. Now you do get to choose your entree. We can highly recommend the Royal Prime Rib Roast or the vegetarian A Stroll Through Nature, which is basically a yummy gnocchi. And don't forget, if you are using the dining plan, you get a signature beverage as well. And there are lots of really fun alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages here to choose from. So anyone's looking for a nicer meal that doesn't involve a buffet, but is a little bit higher end and still a character meal, this is the one for you. Another good character meal would be a princess character meal. There are 3 of these right now at Disney World. There's the quintessential Cinderella's Royal Table, which is right in the castle. This one's hard to book. You have to pay for it ahead of time, but you do get to meet several princesses while you're there, and it is kind of an interesting and fun experience to eat inside the castle. There's also Trattoria al Forno, which is not inside a park, which means you don't have to pay for a park ticket to go to this one, which is a great bonus. This one is over on Disney's Boardwalk, right next to the Boardwalk Inn. And it's unique because you get to meet Flynn Rider, Prince Eric, Rapunzel, and Ariel. This is also a sit-down meal. You don't have to get up and get your food. And you get to choose what you want to eat, and the characters come to you. So you don't want to shell out the cash for Cinderella's Royal Table? You can definitely grab Trattoria al Forno, meet a couple of princesses you don't usually get to meet, and meet their princes as well, which you also don't usually get to do. And the third princess meal is Akershus. This is over in Epcot's Norway Pavilion. And again, you get to meet multiple princesses in a castle-type atmosphere. It's not the castle in the Magic Kingdom, but it is a castle atmosphere. And you get to meet multiple princesses. This one is part a la carte and part buffet. But it's going to be a little bit less expensive if you've got princess lovers who want to meet the princesses. Now let's also talk about Ohana. We love Ohana for breakfast. This is a character meal for breakfast only. It's family style again, which means you get to sit down. You don't have to get up and go to a buffet. The food will come to you. And it is good, yummy food, standard breakfast food. Breakfast potatoes, Mickey, waffles, etc. served on big platters. And you also get that pog juice, which is that passion fruit, orange, and guava juice that people really, really like. You get that as part of your meal here. And at Ohana, you get to meet Mickey, Pluto, Lilo, and Stitch. And it's a great option for families, again, who don't want to go to a buffet. It's a nice way to kick off your day before going to the Magic Kingdom as well, because there's a great view of the Magic Kingdom from Ohana. Now we have a full video on character meals, not to mention tons of info in our Disney Food Blog DFB guide. So if you want a little more info, head on over there. Next meal you have to eat in Disney World is a snack around the world meal. Okay, so this one isn't a straightforward meal, but you can totally make your very own progressive dinner of sorts by snacking your way around the world. And we definitely recommend planning time to do this if you're in town for an Epcot festival, which of course are Food and Wine Festival in the fall, Festival of the Holidays in the winter, Festival of the Arts in the late winter, early spring, and then the Flower and Garden Festival happens in the spring into the summer. So those all have food booths, and they're all great opportunities to sort of snack around the world. Now, depending on your appetite, you could make a meal out of the Food and Wine eats and other festival eats and only spend $12 to $15. Now, if you add an alcoholic beverage, it's going to run you into the $20 territory. Many items are between $4 and $8 at those booths. Now, many items from the food booths are also snack credit eligible. So if you're on a Disney dining plan, you can use your snack credits to purchase food items at those booths. That offers a great value for those snack credits because a lot of them are more expensive, which means you're going to get a great value for your dollar when it comes to those credits. Now, we suggest skipping lunch for the day and just eating around the booths with the snack credits starting at 11 a.m. when those booths open. And finally, the last meal that everyone's got to eat in Disney World is brunch. Now, there's been a lot of new brunch options popping up around Disney World lately because Brunch is really trendy and popular at the moment, so a lot of Disney Springs restaurants and even some parks restaurants have started introducing brunch options. And as you know, this can also be very cost effective. One of our favorite tips is to skip a traditional breakfast and lunch and knock out 2 meals with a brunch. It saves you money because then you're really going to only eat 2 big meals that day, brunch and dinner. And a lot of people aren't dining at that brunch time, 10, 10:30, 11. People aren't eating then. They're in the parks. And so you're going to be able to have less crowded restaurants, a more relaxed atmosphere, and that's going to be really, really nice. So here are some of our favorite brunch menus going on right now. First up, Homecomin. In Disney Springs, they've extended their brunch hour, so it's now from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. every Saturday and Sunday. This is incredible food, you guys. This is celebrity chef Art Smith. They've got amazing dishes. Hush Puppy Benedict, house-made donuts, white peach sangria, of course, fried chicken all over the place. This books up fast, though. At 180 days out, I could barely get a reservation, so you definitely want to book Homecomin's brunch quickly. Next one we love for brunch, Grand Floridian Cafe. This offers a great break from the Magic Kingdom over at the Grand Floridian. You hit up extra magic hours or rope drop at Magic Kingdom, then head over to Grand Floridian Cafe for a relaxing brunch. We highly recommend that lobster thermidor burger and the fried chicken and waffle, of course, which was a Disney food hack for a long time until they actually put it on the menu. All right, we also highly recommend Wine Bar George over there in Disney Springs. They introduced a wine country brunch in March, and on Saturdays and Sundays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., you can dine there and have some great options. It may sound weird to have brunch at a wine bar, but I promise you it's excellent, excellent food. And of course, if you are a wine fan, they do wine really, really well. But if you're not a wine fan, they will help you. They will help you figure out what makes the most sense for you wine-wise. So over here, we can highly recommend those crispy mac and cheese bites, the steak and egg frites, the French toast. So much good stuff, and it's a great alternative to Homecomin if you can't get into Homecomin because it doesn't seem to fill up as quickly. I don't know why. It's really good. Another great brunch option is going to be Raglan Road. This is that Irish restaurant in Disney Springs. They have a really fun brunch with live entertainment, so that one's going to be a great option for you. And there are family-style platters there that they serve, so bring your whole fam along with you. If you're doing a family reunion, this one's going to be a great option. So there are the 4 meals you've got to eat in Disney World. Signature meal, something a little fancy to treat yourself. A character meal, of course. Snacking around the world at one of those Epcot festivals, and then brunch, which nobody ever thinks about at Disney World. But on your resort day or on your relaxation day where you don't want to pay for a park ticket, brunch is where it's at. So thank you guys for listening and thanks for watching. I hope these have been good choices and good options for you to share. Let us know in the comments, have you ever eaten at any of these places? What do you think? Do you recommend it to the rest of the folks who are watching? We'd love to hear from you. This is AJ for Disney Food Blog, and we'll see you real soon.